Alright, so I'm going to be showing how to open up and disassemble this HP Spectre X360 convertible model 15. Let's see here, the model number is really small. DF0069NR. Alright, so this laptop is having some really weird issue. It's just randomly sometimes turning off, sometimes just booting to a black screen. So we're going to open it up and see if anything's loose or if anything's weird here. Alright, so they're hiding screws underneath this rubber stuff here, so we got to get that out. Okay, let's see if we can get it out. Okay, we got this side going, and it looks like we might need a little tool to kind of pick the stuff, pick the adhesive, because they make this adhesive actually stick really strong in here. All right, so I'm probably going to end up using a small flathead screwdriver here. Okay, let me actually zoom in here for you guys. And you can actually see there's a screw here. If you push on it, the adhesive kind of falls in, and that kind of also helps you create a gap to get between the adhesive and the frame to kind of peel it up. Okay, so we're just going to get under there. Okay, there we go. We got a portion of it up. Once we get that up, we can go ahead and peel that. You want to actually peel by the adhesive, not by the rubber piece, because if you peel by the rubber piece, you'll stretch it out. All right, and there we go. Okay, so we got the rubber piece out. We're going to set that aside. We're going to do the same thing with the one back here. All right, again, this is pretty tough to get this stuff out, so you kind of want to use like a small flathead screwdriver. Works really well. Okay. So we're going to lift up a little bit of the rubber so that we can kind of get to the screws. Okay, you can kind of push on it again and then work your way around the edge. Man, this is kind of annoying. Okay, and get underneath that adhesive. Alright, once you get enough of it up, you can go ahead and grab the adhesive and peel that up, hopefully. Jeez, I might have to peel more of it up. This thing is... There we go. Okay, then we're going to go ahead and peel up at the adhesive. There you go. You can see all the screws under there. Okay, so it looks like we're going to need a PH1 or JS1 screwdriver. So let's go ahead and switch over to that. If this video helps you out, make sure to like, subscribe, share my channel with others so that they can learn how to upgrade and repair their devices as well. If it helps you save a bunch of money, please consider contributing a little to the channel. Every little bit helps and allows me to continue making these videos for a living. Alright, just like every other computer I do, you want to keep all the screws in order because they can be different size, shape, and lengths. The way I do that, I put them flat side down like that on my desk in the power and I remove them. Alright, so we got 4 up here, and then, let me actually zoom out a bit here. So we got 4 up there, and then we got 2 at the bottom here, alright? So I'm not sure if we're going to be able to find anything in here. It's really strange, this issue this laptop is having. Also, this laptop, you can charge it via USB-C and the regular charger. That's another issue this laptop is having, actually. The battery doesn't hold a charge. The moment you unplug it, it just shuts off. So it's very strange. Okay. These screws are a little bit difficult to remove. After you unscrew it, you kind of have to wiggle it as you kind of pull it out. Okay. I don't know why, because it doesn't look like it's designed to stay in the case. Alright, anyways, since there's 4 screws back here, we're likely going to be starting with the back to lift it out. Let's go ahead and try with the suction cup here. Okay, this is holding really strong, actually. Oh, my bad. There's also 2 screws here. I'm blind. Okay, so there's 2 screws camouflaged over here, and those are T5 or Torx 5 screws. Okay. And hopefully that's all of them. I didn't notice those. Alright, again, T5 or Torx 5 in case you're wondering. All the screws underneath the rubber pieces appear to be the same length and size, but it's always a good idea to put them back where you found them. Let's see if we can lift from here since we just removed 2 screws from that. Can't see it's kind of lifting, but Alright, this case is going to be tough, I can tell. Okay, I'm probably going to have to use my metal pry tools to get this out, but let's try and pry a bit more just to see if we can get anything to budge. No. Yeah, this laptop. What about from the bottom? I doubt the bottom will move, but let's try it. Oh, interesting. So the bottom actually came out easier. That's weird. Okay, and there seems to be some clips in the center that are holding that down. So yeah, that's not going to come out easily. There we go. Pulling from this side helped get that clip up. I am also holding the case down so it doesn't just go flying out. You don't want to just rip the case out. Okay. All right, now it looks like we can just lift this back and wiggle it, and there we go. That actually came out quite nicely once we got it from the right spot. Okay, we're going to set the cover aside. Actually, if you want to take a look, this is what the clips look like over here. Okay. All right, and you can see how these clips all go in there. Okay, we'll set this aside. Okay, so immediately from the inside, you got all this plastic stuff covering everything. The battery does seem to be connected properly, so I don't know what's up with that. Pull that out and then plug it back in a little bit. Okay, sometimes it might be a little corrosion or something. There's glue on these battery pieces or on these magnets. I don't know if they're supposed to stay in the cover, but somehow they came out. If they are, let's see, that would be like right around here. Nah, I don't see where it would stick. That's kind of strange. I don't know why there's glue on it. All right, anyways, let's go ahead and peel this stuff up so you guys can see. CPU and GPU are soldered to the motherboard. I can't really tell which one's which, but I'm assuming this is CPU and this is GPU. Okay, let's see. We got a M.2 PCIe NVMe SSD here. One screw, it pops up slightly at an angle and you can pull it out. Let's actually... Okay, motherboard seems to be one piece. Charge port is in here, goes underneath the motherboard. You got this little cable here for the power button. Okay, so the power button has a screw there. The charge port has a screw there. These are all PH1 or JS1 screws. I believe this is a cable for the touch screen, possibly, or the camera. Okay, you got a speaker connector here. Another speaker over here with the connector right there. LCD LVDS connector, I think I already mentioned that. If you're going to mess with this, make sure to disconnect the battery and then press and hold the power button for at least 15 seconds with the screen open before you mess with that. And then this is most likely the DC jack charge port connector, which is annoying because they routed it underneath the motherboard over here. Okay. What else? Wireless card is soldered to the motherboard, so that sucks. You have a little connector here, which I'm not sure where that's going. Let's see if I open this. Is there anything in there that's... I don't see where that's going. It could be to the fingerprint sensor. Let's go ahead and actually take the battery out of here. We're going to switch back over to the PH1 or JS1 screwdriver. And it looks like we're also going to have to move the fan connectors around. Okay, again, keep all the screws in order because they can be and are different size, shapes, and lengths. Okay, those two, we got one here. All right, looks like 4 screws at the top and 2 screws at the bottom. All right, sorry if I'm zoomed out or in too much. So we got the 4 screws out there, then we got 2 screws down here. There was 1 screw there, if you're wondering, if you couldn't see. All right, it looks like the speakers have their cables routed through, so let me actually, I'm gonna undo the screws for the speakers, but I'm not gonna disconnect them. The connectors are like a slotted connector, just like on MacBooks. All right, let's see, is this on top? Okay, well, we'll take out the screws from the other one first. All right, so we got all 4 screws out, holding the speakers in place. Again, keep all the screws in order. Let's try and lift the speaker out from under. Oh, actually, this is the battery. Okay, so we're gonna have to be careful here. Can we get the speaker connector up? Okay, here we can. Be careful because it looks like the rubber piece, it sometimes will get stuck there. So actually the rubber piece on this one got stuck. How is the speaker? Oh, it goes under the battery. Interesting. Okay, so we have to actually swing the speaker outwards, and then you can unroute it from the battery stuff over here, these slots. Okay, you want to be careful. Do this slowly. Make sure you're not yanking too hard. If it's stuck, you want to try and find out how you can kind of get it out. Maybe I have to pull this clip back a little. Wow, that's stuck pretty strong. Let's try going from this side. Maybe rotating the cable a little bit. There we go. Okay, and yeah, we can set this speaker aside. This rubber piece, I don't know why, but it came out. So we do want to put it back. Let me zoom in a bit for you guys. Okay, so we're going to actually get this into here and squeeze that in. There we go, and then we'll set the speaker aside. We're going to go to the other side, and we're going to do the same thing. Lift this up, right? Lift the speaker up. Again, it's going underneath the battery, so you got to kind of lift it out. And we're going to swing it over. Same thing, we're going to unroute the cable here if we can. All right, you want to push it so that the two flat wires go up like this, not like that. That way you can actually get them out from those clips or these little hooks, and we'll set that aside. All right, now battery, we're going to grab this by the wings and just wiggle this connector back to pull it. And there we go. If you're replacing the battery, make sure that you have the connector facing the right way. HP spare part number is right there. All right, L29184-005, and battery model number is right there, SU06XL. All right, I'm going to set the battery aside now. Okay, oh, and if you want to see underneath, there's not really much. There's these little metal pads that go over the speaker, I guess. Let's blow the dust out of here. Okay, here you can see you actually have the fingerprint sensor connector here running along. You have this connector for the micro SD card slot, keyboard backlight connector here, keyboard connector, trackpad connector, and this connector for the headphone jack or audio jack, 3.5mm audio jack. If you're wondering the speaker connectors, let me actually zoom in. I'll actually disconnect one, I suppose. Let me see, actually, are these? So this speaker actually, oops, the right speaker, which is on the left since the laptop's upside down, actually goes through the fan thing here, a hook, and then also it's a much larger connector. Interesting. So actually, okay, I'll disconnect both of them just so you guys can see. All right, the way you get these out, it helps to use a little tool. You can also use your fingernails, but let me kind of try and show you guys this. So what you do is you get underneath, and you kind of want to get the corner edge into the middle of the connector. I don't know if you guys will be able to see, but you get under there, and then you kind of just pry it up. Okay, and it pops out just like that. All right, here you can see, and it just clicks back down. So the fan connectors are actually the same. The reason why you're using a tool like this is so you can get in between. This has a little groove in the center that cuts out, and then that we're basically prying up the connector from there. All right, so we're going to do the same thing for the other speaker over here. Sorry, you guys can't even see. Oh, this is hard to film. I don't have much room here. All right, so we'll get this, get the edge of the connector or the tool in, and then kind of pop that up. If you can't, I also like to kind of just get my fingernail in as close as I can at the edge of the connector, and then you can kind of use that to kind of pop it up. Okay, you can see it's kind of wiggling. This connector, I don't know, it's actually in there really strong. Let's try the pointy edge of this. And yeah, nope, that's not really coming out. All right, so we're just gonna have to, I guess, pull harder a little bit. Try and stay as close to the edge of the connector as you can. All right, and there we go. All right, you can see there's a little divot in this connector thing as well. I know it's super tiny, so I don't know, hopefully you can see it. All right, fan connector there. I don't really see much else. All right, I'm assuming the RAM is going to be replaceable because this metal cover is pretty big. So we're going to get underneath and then just pop this up. Okay. You want to be careful not to put too much force on this. You don't want to bend the heat pipe. So I'm going to try and get under here. Oh, there's tape from this connector there, and I cut this fingernail. So that's going to be tough. Let's try and go from this corner then so I can use my other fingernail. And we're going to go under and try and just pop this up. Wow, this covers in there strong. There we go. Okay. So basically we're just pulling this metal box up. It would help to have my index fingernail on. Okay. Alright, there we go. And this, we can carefully pop it up. I'm going to actually take this thing off for now just because it's in the way. So let's peel this off all the way. Okay, and we're just going to carefully keep pulling this box up. There's like little holes in here that you can use to kind of get underneath to help pull it up. But there we go. That's what this looks like underneath. Got 2 sticks of RAM. I'm just going to pull one out. And you can see this is an 8 gig PC4 2666V. You can put any PC4 2666V RAM if you want. You can get 2 16 gig sticks and have 32 gigs total. Let's actually pop this one out as well. And same thing. All right. Okay, there's not too much else I can do here other than just completely disassembling, but that's not going to fix whatever battery issue they're having. So I'm just going to look closely and see if I see anything that looks strange in here. So far I don't see anything. It's weird that they punched a hole through this sticker there, the QR sticker. Keyboard looks like it's held down with screws, but there is like tape under, so if you look there at that really corner, you can actually see there's a screw under there, it seems. Alright, but yeah, it's going to be really tough. You have to take everything completely out of the computer just to get to it. Alright, anyways, again, if you are going to mess with the LCD LVDS connector, let me actually zoom out a bit. You do want to open up the laptop and then press and hold the power button here for 15 seconds. I'm going to do this just to drain the power. I don't see a BIOS or CMOS battery, so I'm assuming that this is used as the BIOS CMOS battery, or the main battery, sorry. The main battery is used as the BIOS CMOS RTC battery. But anyways, hopefully this video helps you guys. If it does, make sure to like, subscribe, share my channel with others so that they can learn how to upgrade and repair their devices as well. You see, I'm going to just check all these connections. If this video helps you save a bunch of money, please consider contributing a little to the channel. Every little bit helps and allows me to continue making these videos for a living. Alright. But yeah, I don't see how any of these connectors would affect or cause the issue that they're having, which is a weird battery charging issue. Here's the little holes in the metal cover that I was talking about. There's one there, one here, and actually that's it. So you can use those to try and help you pry up the cover if you have a problem prying it up. Okay, I'm gonna now just get this little box back over into place. Okay, make sure it goes in between these little metal clips that hold it down, because if you don't, then it can move around and it's not going to be seated right. Okay, this one looks like it's a little out of place, so I kind of have to pull it or bend it out a little bit. Interesting. Why is it not lining up right? Okay, I had to use a tool to help pull that little piece out because it wasn't lining up right. I'm getting a phone call. Give me a second, I'll be back. Alright, sorry about that. I'm back. So let's go ahead and put this thing back together. So we can actually put the speaker in first, I guess, because the battery goes on top. So let's get these speakers in. The only thing is we're going to have to make sure the cables go back on top. Why is this? Oh, I was like, why is it not going? My screwdriver bit was stuck on it. Good thing I didn't try and force it down. Okay, now that we got that, let's go ahead and get the screws back in. Sorry, it's like, I know I'm going out of view of the camera. Oops, I went way out of view of the camera. But anyways, I just dropped these speakers back into place. They have the little raised parts that hold them into the, or get them in the right place. And we'll just get these screws hold the speakers back down. Okay. Get this. And we'll get this one. Alright, there we go. We got all these screws in. Okay, next thing, we're gonna get the battery into place. Okay. I'm running out of desk space here to kind of move things around, so. Alright, we'll get the battery in. The thing with the battery, this cable is really short, so you actually have to line it up and get it in right. Again, if you're using a replacement battery, make sure that you don't have the cable flipped upside down. You want this part where it shows the gold pins sticking out. Let me see if I can show that. Yeah, okay. And then we're going to line this up. Get this into place. Make sure this goes in straight, not crooked like that. Wait, is this... I just noticed this plastic here is actually broken. Let me... They must have had someone work on this before. Maybe that's why their battery wasn't working. Look at this. You see that? Those pins are bent there. So I'm gonna bend those pins back. I just noticed that. Hopefully that's gonna fix their issue. I don't know if somebody opened this and worked on it before. I also noticed that, let me show you once I get this back in place. Yeah, somebody must have opened this or something if it was working fine before. I'm going to ask the customer because sometimes they don't tell me stuff that they're supposed to tell me. It makes it harder to work on things. Also, if you look at this, the plastic here is broken. Like somebody pried the battery upwards instead of pulling it back. So that's pretty strange. Hopefully this actually fixes the issue. So basically I'm just using the plastic tool to kind of bend these pins so that they're all lined up. And hopefully now you can see they're all lined up. Okay, and let's see if we can get this back in now. Whoever did it before must have just forced it in, or I don't know. But let's get this connector back in. All right, looks like it went in nicely now. And let's go ahead and pull that. Okay, I'll be surprised if that's the issue. All right, let's zoom out. So I did move the speaker cables out of the way. We're gonna get the battery back into place here. Okay, there's a little raised plastic mount here and here to help hold that in place. And then we can go ahead and put back all the screws holding the battery down. I'll be surprised if that fixed the problem. All right. It was complaining about like the charge port, and it was complaining about, what else was it complaining about? The charge port and the battery or something. I don't know. Anyways, hopefully that fixed it. So we're getting, I probably should have put the speaker connectors back in first, but it's okay. The speakers won't get damaged if you plug them in even while the computer's on. So you don't really need to worry too much about that. It's only if you drop something metal or something inside here. So let's go ahead and get these connectors back lined up and into place. Hopefully you guys can kind of see. Get these all back in place. There we go. Make sure you get this lined up properly. Come on, let's get in place. And then you just push it down. Okay, once you get it lined up. There we go. Oops, and we want to route it over the fan connector as well. There we go. Get everything back down. All right, we're going to do the same thing with the other side. Okay. Sorry, I can't get better viewing angles for you guys. And again, make sure you get the cables till they're lined up like this, not like that. Otherwise, it's difficult to slot the cable into place. Okay. And also make sure you don't put the connector upside down. Okay, get that lined up and click that in. Good. All right, we got everything reconnected. Let's put the little plastic shim, whatever stuff back on top. if you had this all flipped over, you can actually see where this was attached up here. So that's how you kind of want to have that back in. I'm not sure how important this plastic is. Most laptops don't even have this kind of stuff, so probably don't even have to worry about it, but we're going to put it back just because it was there before. You can also line up this, there's a little slanted cut there. You can line that up as well. It's hard for me to see with the angle I'm watching from, but okay, so I'm going to line that up and stick that down. There we go, and then we'll just stick that back onto there and there. Okay, let's put the bottom cover back on. Whoa, you don't need to see the mess all over my desk. Let's go ahead and get the bottom cover back on. So the way we took it out before, we took it out bottom first. So let's go ahead and put the top side or the back where the hinges are first. So at an angle, make sure those little clips actually slide up into place here. Okay, so you can actually see there's a gap, so you actually want to slide that up into place properly. Okay, and then we're going to work our way down. All right, work our way down, pushing the edges like this. Okay, let's get all this. It might help to use the suction cup to pull the center up, but I'm going to push in this way as I kind of push down and see if the clips go back in. It looks like they're all going in. Yep, okay. Okay, everything looks good. Let's get all these screws back in. All right, again, PH1, JS1 screws up here. Okay. And that's pretty much all there is to this. You're welcome to stay as I put back all the screws and the rubber pieces and everything, and then we're going to plug it in and see what happens. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Again, hopefully this video helped you guys out. If it did, make sure to like, subscribe, share my channel with others so that they can learn how to upgrade and repair their devices as well. If it helped you save a bunch of money, please consider contributing a little to the channel. Every little bit helps and allows me to continue making these videos for a living. Other than that, yep, you're welcome to stay as I get the rest of this back together, and we'll power it up and see if any change. Again, I don't know who's going to have that issue with the charging problem, because that issue was caused by them, whoever plugged the battery in, most likely. Hopefully that didn't damage the motherboard from what they did. But yeah, let's get all this back in. Alright, and now we'll go ahead and get the rubber pieces back. The way I like to do it is I get one side in first, then we'll slowly work our way over. Once we get a bit of it in, we'll go to the other side, and then we'll line that up. Okay, get that in place, and then you can kind of work your way towards the center. Make sure it's going in the groove properly. Okay, sorry it keeps losing focus. It's having a hard time figuring out what this surface is. Okay, we're gonna get the bottom one in. Same thing, get the edge in, get a bit of it going. Then we'll go over to the outside, other edge, get that in. Okay, and then we can work our way in. Again, make sure the edges go into the grooves. There we go, just like that. Okay, good to go. All right, and let's flip this over. We'll see if it even powers on right now, because before it wouldn't detect the battery. Uh-oh, I'm getting another call. No light. So I'm gonna plug this in for a bit and I'll be back. All right, see you guys soon. All right, I'm back. Got their charger. Let's plug it in and see what we got. All right. But I don't know how that would explain the random shutting off or restarting. That'll be kind of weird unless it was just sending the wrong voltages and stuff. So we'll plug this in. Charge light is amber or orange or whatever. And let's see, power button, power light is on. I think it's still staying at this black screen. Actually, because we removed the battery and powered it on for the first time, it's likely resetting the BIOS. So we're gonna leave it on for a bit and see what happens. The one thing I'm noticing is the charge light turned white, so that's weird because that usually will only happen when it detects it's fully charged. And I was right. Here you can see the BIOS or CMOS was reset. So the main battery does act as the BIOS, CMOS, or real-time clock, RTC battery, whatever you want to call it. We just press enter. It should reboot itself, and hopefully it will start up much faster than before when they had the issue, but I don't know because... Well, it's doing something. Okay, that was weird. It's going to the recovery thing. So, yeah. But anyways, this is a completely different issue. I'm just going to start it up normally because for some reason it keeps going to this recovery, and when I tell it to start up normally, it starts up normally. So let's see. I'm going to continue and exit to Windows 10, basically the first option. And let's see if it actually starts up normally. But, Alright, looks like it's starting up normally. I don't know if the battery is actually charging because usually I think if the laptop's charging the battery, it should be orange, not white. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to boot to the BIOS after this, after I make sure it starts up. Okay, and it did start up. I'm going to actually restart the computer now. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to press the escape key. Usually you press F10 to go to BIOS. For HP, they have this weird thing where you press the escape key for it to give you those options before you can do it. Sometimes if you just press F10, it might not work, so let me try. We're going to try the escape key first. Yeah, HP, their BIOS button is F10. Most laptops is like F2 or delete, but HP is different. Here you can see BIOS setup, F10. What I'm trying to do here... Is it going? Okay. What I'm trying to do here is I want to make sure that when I unplug it, it's actually going to stay on. I don't think this gives any information about the battery. Oh, battery remaining time, battery care function 100%, battery remaining time disabled. Interesting. Okay. So let's see. If I unplug this and it turns off, then we didn't fix anything. But okay, it shut off. So it looks like it's not fixed. I don't know what's going on with that. I guess I'll have to have my partner take a look at the motherboard, see if there's something they can fix there. But that's pretty much it. I don't know if it's a bad battery, but yeah, I'm wondering if I should try a new battery first. Anyways, that's it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. All right, let's drop this. Bye.